this is Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And we are on the tour, in the Mediterranean tour, and we are in Ephesus, Turkey. And I wanted to just share some information with you about contrast. You know, contrast is something that it's inevitable, and we're always going to have contrast. So what do I mean by contrast? It's what we don't want. Sometimes in life, we could be in a really great feeling place, really doing, exactly what we want to be doing. And all of a sudden we have something happen, or something that happens to us, and it's considered contrast. So basically think of contrast as what you don't want. In contrast, if you look at it from the perspective of it's an opportunity to identify and expand yourself, to expand your preferences, to decide what do I want, contrast is always going to come up. Contrast is inevitable. It's a part of our life. And I'll just give you a quick example. We were on this Mediterranean cruise. What could be better? We're in the middle of the Mediterranean. I've got Frederick, the boys with me. But in the room that we were in, we had, at night, we were on top of a restaurant. And it was like the buffet restaurant. So all night long, we were hearing crashing and wheeling and all that kind of stuff. And I was even wearing earplugs. So it was just really bad because we weren't sleeping. So even though it was like really wonderful, we still had this contrast that showed up. And in one particular evening, it was just all night long. And so with that contrast, it's like, I want to sleep. I want a different room. And I was really, really clear about that. Frederick wanted a different room. So we were persistent, and we called and guest services, and they said, sorry, we're fully booked. And the next night when it happened again, we called back and said, listen, we can't sleep. I've got earplugs in and I'm hearing the whole thing. So it was this really big contrast in the middle of all this beauty, in the middle of this wonderful trip. And it just so happened that the next morning, someone did get off the ship. And what's beautiful about it is that we were able to switch our rooms. And the upgrade, if you will, was now we are on the back of the boat. We literally are not on the side of the ship anymore. We're in the back of the boat. And all I wanted to see, all I'm feeling so, in tune with is water. And I want to be with water. So now it's like I've got this big, vast, beautiful view. And last night, we had a great night's sleep because we didn't have the restaurant up on top of us. So you can always look for what comes in your reality is what you don't want, and identify, I don't want this. So what do I want? I want to have a great night's sleep. I want to change rooms if possible. Look for what you want to do instead of what you don't want. Those things are always going to come. It's part of life. But here's the kicker. It's what you do with that contrast. Contrast is inevitable, but how you react to that contrast is really what we can control. We can control deciding what we want, and then how are we going to react to that contrast when it shows up? Because if you overreact, and if you get upset, and you offer even more resistance to that contrast, what happens is it continues to create more contrast. But instead, if you remain centered and know that everything is always working out for me, I am a powerful creator. I have source running through my fingertips, and I'm that creative being, and I can choose what I want. Then you come from a more centered place. Believe me, I'm working on this too. I still have reactions to, oh my God, the sky's falling. So it's up to me to work out when I see that contrast to make my reaction towards what I do want and move in the direction of what I do want, which is the clarity of our desires. So I hope this has been helpful. Just remember, contrast happens. It's your reaction to the contrast and what you decide to do with that contrast. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want. Gain that clarity, and then your life will open up. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.